Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shenanigans. How are you all doing today?
Good.
I'm doing fine.
Good. Good. Excellent. How's life?
Work's hot in the UK because I'm working outside all the time at the moment, especially on the weekends if on my work weekend on. So
It gets warm in the UK. It's not just cold and rainy all the time.
we got a heat wave at the moment, so it's absolutely horrible.
Can you
So
give
it's
us a
probably like-
temperature?
Let me double check. What was it? the highest
72.
today? So I think it probably hits somewhere close to probably high 20s, maybe probably high 20s today.
High 20s would be the low 80s in the Fahrenheit system, everybody. So
Oh yeah, that's
quite
what it's
warm.
like every day for me.
Well, temperature is relative, Connor. We all know that. If you live in cold temperatures and you get to something warm, it's hot for you. And if you live in hot temperatures and you get to something cool, it's freezing for you. You know, it's relative.
I think it's more the fact that the highs here, they're pretty much the same with like a plus or minus of about 3.
I didn't follow that. I don't understand how that reinforces your previous statement.
The temperature here is very stable.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm just like always have AC going on in my house and in my car, and my body is just like always acclimated towards winter, so it's pretty great.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, in the UK, AC throughout your whole building isn't necessarily very common.
Makes sense. Yeah. So you say you're working outside in the summer heat and it's killing you?
Yes.
Unfortunate. It's been hot here too. Very warm. Very warm. Connor, what's life like for you? Do you have any boat sailing stories for us?
No, I don't, because my boat is on stilts. Let's hear. Ooh. So the Commodore came down and inspected our boat yesterday.
We still have Commodores? That's not like an
It's-
archaic term?
It's a job title, not a rank.
Oh,
now.
okay, cool.
It used to be a rank, but now it's just a job title. And yeah, he ate lunch with us. So I sat down next to him, showed him my hard hat with bull horns glued to it. He loved it. It also says bull on the back. For the record, the bull is the most senior ensign on the boat, as the only ensign I got it by default. It's my job to do goofy stuff and screw with the other officers, especially the XO, who I'm gonna get
Better not
good.
leave that helmet with someone else because you know they go right on the front of it.
But
So your helmet's got bull on the back of it. If you leave it with someone, what are they going to write on the front of it?
well, I mean, there's a sticker on the front with our
Okay.
boat patch on there. Yeah, I'm gonna get XO good. We've got a very, very rare 5-day weekend for the 4th of July weekend because the shipyard is just like, I don't want to work those 2 days. And we're just like, if you don't want to work, we don't want to work either. Hoo-yah, 5-day weekend. It's gonna be great. So much fun. Probably gonna go on a hike.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What about you, Nicholas?
I've just been watching Games Done Quick for like this entire week and playing Dark Souls. And then like I'm at such a high level that getting a level up takes like several bosses. But I like grinded my way to having the stats to equip the like what's considered apparently the best sword in the game because it has like the highest damage overall value, except that's split between 2 stats, so the damage has to go through 2 different types of defenses, so it's actually shit. So I worked so hard to get the non-cursed sword of Artorias and just It's useless. Then I put on the Curse Sword of Artorias, and it's great. So
I didn't follow that in the slightest because I've never played
Good.
Dark Souls, but it sounds like you're doing well. So congratulations.
But
yeah, I'm on new game like +8 now or something like that. So it's stopped getting harder.
Oh.
but the Zweihander.
Yeah, I like the great swords, not the ultra great swords. So
But the Zweihander. You can be freaking giant, Dad, and you aren't.
I mean, I could be Giant Dad, but I don't really feel like it. I like the Great Shield, although I'm
Could be
in
half of the rock.
full Havel, except
that makes
for the
sense.
helmet. With the Great Shield, wearing the Ring of Favor and Protection,
Yeah.
and all that combined, I'm still I'm still medium rolling
All right.
because I have max endurance.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys show us where on the map you're sitting
Oh dear.
in Shenanigans while I go grab my phone in case I need an emergency incoming phone call. Hold on.
We'll just keep pinging it because we know he's not there.
Man, I got something better. Oh god, stop it. The pinging.
Okay, much better. You guys are over here. Wonderful. What an unusual place for you all to be sitting. I'm glad that you have a lot of variation in the way that you play and, branch out and try new things. It's really important in life and in D&D
Neal.
to explore new territory, and I'm glad you guys embrace that. So
When you went to college, did you usually sit in the same place in all your classes?
in some of them, but in some of them I made a concerted effort to change up seats to screw with people, and it was fun. Watching people's confused faces when someone's sitting in their spot was amusing and socially isolating.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the day someone puts a bear trap on one of the seats.
Okay. So, there you are, sitting at your table. It is let's roll it. How crowded is Shenanigans today? Oh my. Shenanigans is overflowing packed. In fact, the three of you at that table are accompanied by 3 other people who are sharing your table with you because it's so
Sure.
crowded.
Yeah, we didn't have the
Yeah.
normal complement of like 4 or 5 people, so we
No.
weren't able to
Yeah.
swing it in our own place.
It's 3 dwarves. They're sitting on one side of the table. You're sitting on the other side of the table. They're turned facing each other and chattering away in Dwarven. Do any of you speak Dwarven?
Oh,
Nope.
Yes. All right. You have no idea what they're saying, and I don't have
Nope.
to make it up.
exactly.
So the dwarves are just prattling away, and the place is packed. It's so packed. What are you guys doing here while it's so packed?
Friggin' eating lunch, of course.
Of course, yeah.
And freaking, it's delicious.
Excellent. What about the rest of you? Or are you just all sitting and eating and just waiting for an event to happen?
Oh, Joe's having a nice. What does Joe drink? Joe probably just drinks beer. Yeah, he's just stepping on a nice evening beer, morning beer,
Okay.
whatever.
May will probably be watching 2 people who he's trying to make sure don't do anything mad, while also probably thinking up any forms of entertainment that aren't rock, paper, scissors.
It worked well once. It really did, but it might not be the right method for everything, but you're on the right track. Ooh, maybe we could use a spectral hand spell. No, but that's a wizard spell. Yeah, I think we have to go with Animate Dead.
And
Wait,
none of us are wizards.
Oh. Here we go. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to go Animate Dead for you, Nick, for your claws. But I guess that's for another time because you're playing Joe, and Joe doesn't care about animating claws.
Joe cares about the number 10. That's it.
Yeah, Joe is an average farmer who's just having a good time.
Yeah, so it's basically like Torque. The way I like to see this is Torque just sat down. It's like, oh, where is everybody today? I don't know. And then random freaking farmer dude walks up and joins, like, oh, hello. And then it's like, then the person that he met like just last week is there, is like, oh, hello. So it's like literally nobody Torque knows at this table.
But at the same time, everybody in the party always knows each other.
Shit.
Yeah, like somehow you guys have had some side adventure together that was never
Maybe
on
Joe's
screen.
been here for a couple hours or something.
Yeah, or in like one of the off weeks where Joe and Torque couldn't make it to the real show, like they went off and did some minor quests together. And May, I guess you've been here for every session. Maybe there's like an in-between session that happens midweek or something. You know, you guys always somehow know each other. It's amazing how that happens. There's never any who are you. It's great. Cool. So you're sitting down here. It's loud, it's crowded, it's noisy. When you see kind of popping out of the dense crowd before you, who else but Layla, Desmond's daughter, only daughter. She's the teenager who studies at the local wizard academy, whose name is Woghorts.
It's very sneaky.
Very sneaky, yes. That was actually named by one of my at a real table players back in San Francisco 5 years ago or something like that.
I'm not surprised.
He had a good name. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to play with. Anyway, so you guys are all sitting around the table when Layla comes up to you. And she looks over the dwarves and she looks over you guys. I have a job for you, she says.
Oh boy, Layla, what's the job?
I need a spell component that I can't get.
Well, that seems like an issue. What's the component?
She looks at the dwarves and gives them like a dirty glare and scoots closer to your guys and kind of leans in a little bit and goes, I need some bone powder.
From?
Any bone, powdered, and some small shards of bone, too.
How fresh?
Oh, it doesn't matter. But you know, I don't think it can be chicken bone or something like that. I think it needs to be like real bones, not like stupid animal bones. You know, like like people or dwarves or elves or gnolls or you know something
or,
at least somewhat intelligent. You know, like a real creature, not a monster. Or maybe like a monster, but like a real monster, not like, you know, a bug or a chicken. Yeah, I don't know if a kobold counts as a real person or a real monster. It might. I don't know.
Harsh.
Yeah.
Harsh, but okay.
Or yeah, or whatever you guys are. You know, I could use your bones probably. I think you're all smart enough. Well, I'm. Oh, God. I'm just saying I need some bone shards and some bone powder because the school library won't sell them to me, and so I thought I'd hire one of you guys to do it. Okay?
Why won't they sell them to you?
Because it's like the school only sells approved components for the things that you're studying in class, and this is an extracurricular spell, and they're like, no, we're not going to give you or sell you components for things that you're not doing in class. It's just like, it's a bunch of bullshit, you know?
What if you wrote up a report on what you were doing and tried to turn it in for extra credit?
She gives you one of those, like, high school girl looks of, like, are you so stupid that you, like, come on. It's that, like, flat, dead look with the sarcasm in the eyes.
I just stare back at her.
It hurts.
So, do you guys like gonna do this, or do I need to go find someone else?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do it. I'm just asking why you didn't try that first.
Oh my god, it's like he doesn't know anything. Have you ever been to a wizarding academy before? Do you
Nope.
even know what you're talking about? No, okay, then just
Nope.
like shut up, loser. Oh.
Alrighty then.
Torque gets back on the back end.
I should just play Layla as a character in someone else's campaign. Oh god.
Goddamn Neal.
You see, the reason why she
Sass.
doesn't understand why that's such a good idea, and honestly, probably way easier than actually just like paying a bunch of guys 300 gold to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So, are you guys in or not?
Yeah, we'll do
Okay,
it.
good. Well,
Yeah,
I
sure.
live here, or down the street,
yes.
but I'm here all the time, so you know where to
Yes,
find me.
yes.
So, like, when you get the bone powder and the bone shards, just like bring them to me. Cool.
Mhm. How
Good.
much are you
Go
gonna
away,
pass?
my minions. What do you mean?
Oh, do you not understand how this works?
Do you do things for people, and then you
And
spend the rest
then-
of your time drinking in the bar? Right.
And how do you think we fund our drinking?
Fine. I'll tell my dad that you guys get free drinks for like what, a month? Is that good enough?
All food and drinks.
Fine. Free food and drinks. I'm sure Daddy will be happy about it.
Let's go discuss this with your dad before we go anywhere. I'm not about to do.
Oh my god, no, you can't. Fine, I'll just find another group. Jeez, you're such like a.
I'm trying to support my livelihood.
Whatever. Fine. I'll go talk to my dad. I'll tell him I need a quest, and I'll get his approval, and you'll see him wave at you, and it'll be fine. Okay? But like, he can't know about this either. Dad's just gonna ask too many questions, and he's gonna get super defensive, and he's gonna be like, Layla, you should just be doing what they tell you in school. You shouldn't be doing anything outside of school. Why do you need bone powder and bone shards? What's wrong with you? You know? He's not a spellcaster. He doesn't get it.
All right. That's fine. I'll just go with you. I won't say anything. I'll just go with you.
God,
It's
it's so embarrassing. And she heads
What?
up towards the bar.
all right. I'll get up and I'll like have half of a sandwich or something.
All right, she
I'll
heads
like
over to her.
freaking viciously tear into it or something. It's comical. It's great.
Right, she heads up to the bar, that little section between the kitchen and the bar itself, and goes over to her dad and gives him the big eyes and goes, "Hey, Dad, these guys are helping me with something, but since like I already spent all my allowance, I was hoping that you could just give them like free food and drinks for a month if they did my thing for me." And Desmond's like, "Huh? What? Sure, honey, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, food and drinks for these guys. Got it. All right."
He points at me, right?
Yeah, he kind of like makes a sweeping gesture that could be you, but it could also be like anyone else. But he like blindly agrees to it without paying too much attention.
All right.
okay,
Yeah, I'll take it.
free food and drink for every single person in the bar.
Perfect. She'll turn around all sharp and like, all right, good enough. We'll get it to you soon.
Soon, TM.
Okay, good boy. Go fetch.
Wow.
Okay. He just like stares at her. No, it's just not like shakes it. Okay.
She's just, God, kids, right? They're such brats.
Yeah.
So here you are in Shenanigans. You got a quest.
All right, we need to kill something of note.
Well, May, seeing as he kind of rolls as a militia sort of character, he will suggest that possibly if we go and see the sheriff, the guy who hardly wears any clothes, and speak with him first.
Sure.
After all, they may have some information that we might be useful or encounter. Well, he probably hasn't encountered anything himself, but
What if
might
we
be a good
went?
way to start.
What if we went and killed something cool?
Well, isn't that what May's suggesting, is going and asking the sheriff where something cool is, or did I totally misunderstand May's point?
I think I misheard then.
May is opening up as many options as possible. So by going to the sheriff, you may find it interesting cool, or you might find the easiest route.
So
We
let's...
might be able to find something with a bounty on it.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Make some side money.
y'all head over to the sheriff's station and find Mr. Muscles in there. He is standing outside, actually, leaning in the doorway, striking various poses because it's, busy market hours and there's all sorts of people running to and fro, getting the goods they need, including all manner of lovely ladies that Mr. Muscles is desperately trying to impress with his, tight little medieval equivalent of a Speedo. It's not quite a loincloth. It's like a loincloth that's been wrapped a little bit too tightly. And his nice sandals. And just kind of leaning in his doorframe, striking various poses, stretching and flexing his muscles as needed. When the three of you come and sort of block his view, or more accurately, block the view of all of those, people out there who should be looking at him, but now can't because you're standing in front of him. What do you guys want? What's up? What do you need?
Is there a list of creatures that have some bounties on them that are causing issues around?
No, kobolds. Always a kobold. Copper in ear. Copper for a right ear. If that's what you need.
More sizable?
Excuse me?
Something bigger than a kobold?
He's kind of trying to stretch over you and look around. The Torque's too tall, and he gives a sigh and heads into the office to take a look at what is on the boards in there. He starts shuffling through things, and let me take a look at the surrounding map so I have an idea of what might be here. There have been that's not work. That doesn't have bones. Yeah, man. There's like a group of ogres that have come up from the south. Like beyond the swamp wash and the deepwood swamp. Like the ogres live down there, but then like the orcs live right above that, and like they're always fighting. Anyway. A group of ogres has recently come up from the south and like totally trashed one of the outlying villages, and it's like led by this ogre mage, and he's like casting all these spells and like fucking up all this shit, and like the whole town got racked. I mean, it's been like being rebuilt right now because people are really good and always helping each other out, and there was like some ancient magical artifact in that village, and I think they pawned it or something. I don't know. That's not actually part of the story. That's just like backstory and whatever. It doesn't matter. But these ogres, man, bro, they're just like wrecking houses. Anyway, so there's a group of them, and their leader's an ogre mage, and they're somewhere in the south. Is that good enough for you? Do you need more information?
I think that'll work.
Is there
Yeah, it should
anything
be good.
safer?
Anything to what?
Anything between those two spectrums? Kobolds and ogres? Anything in the middle?
Oh, middle ground? I mean, no. I mean, like, people are always causing problems, but like, there ain't a bounty on anything. There's like little kobolds, like daily cleaning up the filth, and then like real threats. Like all the middle ground threats don't really deserve bounty. You know what I'm saying?
Well, have you heard of any? And he will give him 100 copper pieces.
He'll take the 100 copper pieces, sweep them into a drawer. Thanks, man.
Slowly look at May. Look back at Mr. Muscles. So,
Are we good here?
Well, if you hear about any more lesser threats than an ogre. Even if they're not bounties.
Isn't like more lesser contradictory? Does that like
something
mean
we
the
know.
same? I don't know. That's a complicated question.
He's got a point.
He does.
If he has more lesser muscles than me, does he have more muscles or just the same muscles as me?
He has a a quantifiably larger amount of muscles than you. But what
That's
if your
a big
muscles are
word
bigger?
for you, Torque. Wow, I didn't know you
I
knew
learned
such.
it today.
Wow,
The dwarves taught it to me.
right on, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll totally 100% let you know if I find if there's any other things that come in between kobold and ogre. Totally let you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, get out of here, guys. I gotta keep an eye on the city streets, make sure that it's safe. And
Are
I
they
gotta
safe?
scare
Right.
off any criminals that might be there.
Look behind me. Does it look safe?
I mean, there's a small family hanging out at a fruit stand nearby. Mom and dad and 3 little kids, and Mr. Muscles like stretching and looking at the parents and trying to strike that perfect pose that lets them know that he's open for business, whatever that means. That's just, yeah.
I think it means he's willing to chuck the kids into the river. All right.
Let's go with that. Sure.
Yeah. I'll nod and depart.
All right, you have departed.
All right, you guys want to go kill the ogres?
On the way out of Berkshire, then, if I can grab some javelins, I might want to grab.
We can
some
try to
javelins.
kill one.
Yeah, you can buy them at market value.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. A bow's hundo, right? Or is it 75? Longbow?
I'd have to look it up. I don't know off the top of my head.
It's okay, neither do I. I know it's one of those 2 ridiculous quantities.
Arcadia. No, is it in systems? It is. It's in systems. Economics. Scrolly. Weapons. Bow. Longbow?
Yeah.
3,500.
35.
Yes.
Wait. Holy crap, you totally buffed the price. Like crazy.
Yep. But longbows cannot be used from horseback. Short bows can, and they're only 2,500.
Neal, I don't ride horses.
Horses ride you. You're like Cho Gall.
Absolutely
You pick a horse
not.
up and put it over your shoulder to run faster.
Yeah.
It's a Heroes
Yeah.
of the Storm joke. Javelins are 100 per javelin. So have as many as you'd like.
They're like what, like 4 pounds or something? 3 pounds?
Bows,
Yeah.
3 pounds for longbow, 1.5 pounds for javelin. Which
Neato.
doesn't seem to make sense. It seems like a bow would weigh less than 3 pounds. Doesn't that seem like
not a
ridiculously heavy?
No, not for a longbow, Neal.
Really?
3 pounds?
3
I mean,
pounds?
1, 3 pounds isn't a lot. 2, I'd honestly expect it to be more like 5. But if it's 3, I'm not going to argue that up.
Okay. Sure, whatever. I don't know. I've never held a real longbow in my life. I have no idea. So I'll believe you on this one.
I can do a bit of research quickly.
Sure. Anyway, it's fine. You can do research, whatever. You have your gear. What do you
Cool.
need? Anything else? Are we good? Are you ready to rock?
No, we can't rock anymore.
Can't rock
Can you
anymore.
roll?
Yeah, we can roll. I'm going to go buy arrows. How many is it? It's like freaking
Bodkin or broadheads?
the good one. The ones that do a lot of damage.
The broadheads They are 15 copper each.
All right, cool. I can deal with that.
Yep.
It's 1.5 for 10. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll just drop like 3 gold and get
Okay.
20.
What May will suggest is maybe if they're going to be encountering lots of ogres, they might want to have more than 3 of them, as he's not confident he could even take 1 ogre.
Hmm.
He turns to face their companion, the farming, whose name isn't actually on the listing, so I've forgotten the name now.
Joe.
Joe.
Oh,
Joe,
yeah. Somehow it still says Doreen. Somehow. Yeah, sorry.
And he will ask Joe how confident Joe would be about fighting a ogre. What's Joe equipped in? Is there any obvious signs, or is he like in full play? Or
Hold on, Joe. Scroll. Joe was in banded mail. That one really weird type of mail that costs like 200 gold.
Okay.
And he has a spear.
he will say to obviously Torque he's seen in battle. Jerry hasn't, but obviously say you two are very well equipped. He points to himself, who's in Gamberson, probably pretty new to combat, and go, and reasonably frail looking, going, I might feel safe. We might feel safer if we've got some other people.
Well, you don't.
Well, if you aren't comfortable fighting an ogre, what it could do, we can get you to some crossbows, and we just pepper them from afar.
That could work. Crossbows, from what I hear, are reasonably simple to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like point shoot, practically.
I guess we'll be getting some crossbows then.
You can buy crossbows. They are expensive, though.
How much each?
They are the same price as bows?
Cool.
That seems like they should be more expensive than bows. But for now, they're the same
Neal.
price. Heavy crossbows are 3,500. Light crossbows are 2,500. They deal more damage, but have a slower rate of fire. And you do not need a weapon proficiency to fire a crossbow.
Yeah, sure. I'll buy May a crossbow. Joe, do you want one?
No, I'm good. I'm good with my pointy stick.
Well, the
Pointy stick.
The point of this is we can, like, pick at least one off from quite a ways away.
Well, I was hoping to catch one off taking a piss.
Guess we could do that. Maybe.
Always best to be prepared, so I can be as far
I
away
mean,
from the action as possible. Like-
reasonably, we only need to take out one.
Oh, I totally agree. One and then run away.
You know, after we, like, chop off some of its bones.
Right.
Alright, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'll spend, like, the 3 gold or whatever to get him 20 bolts or something.
Okay. Yep. Each
Neat.
bolt is... You're getting the heavy crossbows, right?
No, like,
Light crossbows? Alright. Each bolt is 10, so...
oh, it's 10.
Yeah.
Alright, so, neat. That worked out well. Cool. Yeah, we'll pack up on some rations and start heading down to where the ogres were at.
All right. Where are the ogres? Where do you guys go?
You said they were south, right?
You said they were in one of the villages to the south.
Cool. Then we'll start heading towards the villages in the south.
Sure. I was gonna make you jump through some hoops because you never found out which village, but that actually sounds really boring. So we'll just say
We can go to one,
you can
ask
find.
them,
Yeah. Yeah.
because something like ogres in a village, those rumors are going to spread.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably going to be like maybe one mistake. And
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So let's change up our music because we're no longer in a town. You are on your way southward to the village that had the ogres. And tell me what you're doing as you're heading in that direction. What's going on with the three of you?
Oh, Joe's just riding his donkey.
That's it? Joe just trots along?
yeah, Joe trots along. I mean, I'm like on the lookout for stuff. I mean, we're walking through the woods. That's rarely just a casual thing this far away from Berkshire.
May's trying to provide himself with as much cover using at least one of them as possible, while being very nervous and looking around. He'd rather be in Berkshire, normally somewhere reasonably safe, because, I mean, he's happy if there's other people around him, but if something looks stronger than him, he's normally going to run away and find somewhere safer.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. So let's see how your journey goes. On your way down southward, music is too quiet. You spot a broken down wagon. The wheel's fallen off, and there's a farmer outside of it, looking at it, hands on her hips. She looks a little bit older. You know, she's got like a walking stick that she's holding on to as her other hand's on her hip. And she's looking at this wagon wheel, which is just falling right off. There's an oxen nearby who's hanging out, just munching on some grass on the side of the road. And she sees the three of you coming her way and kind of excitedly perks up a little bit and tries to wave at you.
Having a problem with your wagon there, man?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Joe, you got any idea?
Well, let me see what we can do. So, Joe will go over, see what the wagon what can be done for the wagon.
Well, the wheels just slid right off. It seems that it wasn't firmly attached to the axle. There's no actual broken components. It's literally just like kind of rolled off and then the whole wagon tilted and just kind of came to a stop. She's got the wheel up there, but she's kind of hunched over and she's got the cane, and you're looking at her like she just doesn't have the physical capability to put the wheel back on the wagon because she's kind of old and, you know, looks like she's got some back problems. And it's a full-fledged wagon.
Yeah, well, I get you. All right, well, Joe will be like, hey, guys, can you give us a hand? Then all we need to do is lift up the wagon, and I'll put the wheel right back on.
May will take a quick glance around and see if there's any like big branches or anything that we could also slide on as it gets higher up, slide under it to obviously reduce some of the load.
Yeah, some leverage thing. Oh, or a pull. Yeah.
Yeah, something to lever, and then as you start lever out, you can obviously stick.
Sure. It's a forest. You can look around for 5 minutes and find pretty much anything you need, or if you have an axe, you can make it.
I've also got a load of javelins in my inventory, which I could just tie together.
Perfect. Yeah, so you can make this work. You lift up the wagon, you start to get the wheel on, you pop it on, no problem. And the old woman looks at you all and goes, "Oh, I thank you so much. I'd be stuck here for hours without you random travelers. Where is it that you're going? And is there anything I can do to thank you?"
Oh, no, that's all right, ma'am. We're just heading off, where was it? We were going to one of the southern villages, look for some ogres.
Something like that.
Yes.
What have you?
Ratshire,
of that?
yes. It's a terrible place these days.
Hmm. Well,
Oh, I'm sure.
well, we're
Ogres,
heading
yep.
down.
They ripped the roof right off the tavern, threw it around like it was
That's
a
terrible.
toy.
Ooh, that's quite unfortunate.
What a-
Yes.
Very unfortunate thing to happen to a great place of drinking.
Yep.
Well, if that's all you need, I'll be on my way. Thank you so much. She gives you a hug, gives Joe a hug, gives May a hug, gives Torque's waist a hug, because he's a little tall.
Before obviously she leaves, I've got a spike. Will that fit to stop the wheel coming off again?
Yes, you could spike it on, and then it wouldn't come off.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll cross that spike off.
Nice thinking.
Oh, oops.
Yep. And on you go. Torque,
Yo.
how much money do you have on you?
Quite a bit. Got like 275.
Gold?
Yeah.
Do you carry it all in one bag?
I probably have like a couple coins just tucked away, probably like 5 or 10 for an emergency into my snack bag.
Cool. So remove all but those.
All right.
Old lady picked your pocket and you all didn't notice.
Oh, that's
Of course,
okay.
you won't notice until later. You won't find your missing money until you try and spend it. But she snagged your bag.
And that's
Just
exactly why I
his?
keep like
Just
5
his.
in the
Oh, wow.
emergency.
Yeah.
But she just done goofed because if
Yeah.
I see her again, I can definitely outrun her.
You
And
can
then
definitely
run.
outrun her, but you won't notice until she's out of sight and, it's a big forest and a lot of people.
Well, a lot of people. you
Neal, this
say,
is like
but-
something we legit have to determine when I notice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
will. I think it'll be the next time
Because-
you go. I think it's going to be whenever you arrive at a tavern and want to, buy food or drink.
I mean, how much weight was that money? I think
200
after a little while, you noticed a few missing pounds of jingling money on your side.
That was 6 pounds of money.
But, Torque, what's your strength score?
15.
Yeah, so it actually might not be that long. I think because, she picks it, you don't really realize it, and you're walking along. At some point, you're probably like, my wallet's missing. Hey.
Okay. Well,
It's
considering
probably like an hour or two down the road. It's gonna let's give you a perception check,
right,
and then the better you do, the sooner you notice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we want to invert that, if we were gonna say the highest you could ever roll would be a 38.
32.
I mean, a person could roll 38 max.
Okay.
And that would be noticing right away. So we're 13 points off of 38. So I'm gonna do 13 times 5 minutes. So in 65 minutes,
an hour.
yeah. An hour and 5 minutes later, you notice it's missing.
Be walking along, then I'll just stop, randomly. Mm-hmm. That bitch stole my wallet.
Oh, that sweet old lady.
Oh, there ain't nothing sweet about her. All right, boys, we're turning around.
Oh dear.
She literally took 270 gold from me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, we can't let that one go now, can we?
So we're gonna take the next hour to get back to where we originally were.
And the wagon is not there.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's okay, Neal. I've got a tracking proficiency. And she probably had that old lady smell, and I've got a good sniffer.
Such an old lady smell.
Give me a second perception check there, Torque, buddy old pal.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
Nailed it.
Oh wow. So as you're thinking about tracking her and you're following the wagon wheels, you're thinking about that old lady smell, and you're like, you know what? She didn't smell like an old lady. I kind of thought she would, and I thought it was maybe the fresh forest air why she didn't, or maybe only because she was hugging my waist and I was too high up, and I couldn't quite smell it, but there wasn't even a hint of old lady on her.
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's my tracking proficiency,
Right.
so tell me when I find her.
Oh yeah. You guys can follow the wagon wheels into another nearby village that hasn't been harassed by ogres. You stroll on in, and the wagon ruts lead like right into the village, and then they just kind of like follow the other wagon ruts into the village. And there's the plopping of the oxen, which is really what you're following now, is like the oxen footprints, because they're the closest, or they're the only things that aren't like being covered by previous wagon wheel ruts, right? And so you find the wagon complete with the fresh new spike in it, and an oxen kind of parked right outside this little farm. There's like a little barn there. There's a little pasture. The oxen's just kind of sitting there, standing there, really, next to the wagon. Looks like a family's farm.
May, get your spike back.
May doesn't disagree with Tor and goes, okay.
All right. So
I'll walk up to the door, and I'll...
The door opens. It is a young-ish lady, late 20s, early 30s sort of thing. Stops and looks up and goes, "Oh my!"
Is the smell similar at all?
You lean over and start sniffing her.
Well, Neal, which way is the wind going? I might not have to lean over at all.
It's she's in a building, so the air is pretty stagnant right around here. But you lean down and
I won't necessarily like lean all the way down, but I'll like sniff a bit. And it's like, I'm looking for an older lady, and I give a quick description, like kind of hunched over. She was traveling with that wagon, and
what wagon?
while I'm giving this description, I'm gonna try and get the smell. See if I can.
You give her a good sniff, a good snifferoo. It doesn't smell like her, and she seems perplexed when you're talking about a wagon. What wagon? What wagon?
The wagon is like legit, like right behind us, right?
Yeah, like so she looks past you or to the side or whatever and goes, "Oh, when did that get here? That's not mine."
Oh yeah. So nobody's shown up in the last like hour. Two.
No. I was inside making stew for the week. Would you care to have some?
No thanks. No thanks.
So whose wagon is that? Because it's parked right in front of my house, and
yeah, I'm sure
I
you
didn't
can
tell
have
them they
it
can
there.
park it there. So like,
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out is where that person went.
well, when you find them, would you tell them to move their wagon? When my older sister gets home, she's gonna want to park at her wagon right there.
Well, I
And-
suppose we'll just move that wagon for them.
Thank you.
How
kindly.
fresh were those? How fresh were those tracks?
I guess like 2 hours old, maybe 3, because then you had to follow her up. You know, it's
1,
They're-
2, and back. Right.
yeah.
Are there any like people tracks near that wagon that are recent that aren't ours?
Yeah. You know what? There is a pair of tracks. They stomped through some fairly fresh grass that was upright, and you can see that there's like
Right.
from the
Before I
the-
go, you're like, I'm still looking for this person. If you see me out and about your property, I'm sorry. And again, listening to this person, I'll try and minimize any damage I might cause.
She gives you a glare. I hope you stay off my property.
Well, if they went on your property, then they too are trespassing.
She takes a look at your weapons, your armor, your spell components, the hands.
We
What
have
hands?
no spell
I'm
components.
sorry,
We
you're
have
not
no hands.
Joe. You're
I
not,
am
you're not,
Joe.
You're not Doreen. You're Joe. Okay. But she looks at the weapons you're all carrying. You're all like heavily armed with armor and everything, and decides not to agitate the bloodthirsty adventurers who might kill her if she gets involved, and just kind of shuts her door. And there you go. You can follow these footprints through the grass. They lead kind of just off towards the middle of the village. Like she just parked the wagon here and hopped off towards the middle of the village. You can make your way into the middle of the village. And as you do, you see that there is a small gathering going on.
Hold on.
Oh, yes?
Joe isn't gonna be Joe isn't gonna follow. Joe is just going to lay down in the back of the wagon to hide himself and wait for the person to come back.
All right. Joe gets in the wagon and lays low. Got it.
Yeah.
Torque and May.
May's gonna go with Torque.
Torque's definitely in the "you stole crap from me, I'm chopping off your hand" mood right now. That's a legit punishment.
In some
Picking
parts
up,
of the world, yes.
For the time
Picking
period,
up
yeah.
cues from Doreen now.
Only one hand. And it would actually be a clean
okay.
cut, not freaking Doreen's bone saw.
I think the bone saw actually makes like a pretty clean cut.
Yes, a bone saw would get a much cleaner cut than just like an axe coming through, but that's fine. The axe is faster. The bone
Right.
saw is cleaner.
While they're travelling into town, May will be thinking. Well, it's also to ask Torque. Was there anything recognisable other than your large coin purse? Any markings to it in particular? We should possibly tell this town's head militiaman or sheriff, just so we don't cause any issues.
I think I might have had a piece of beef jerky in it. Other than that, I mean, I don't try and advertise my stuff. So that is pretty interesting.
It's time to start
So-
embroidering all of your bags, like Torque's purse, May's bag, Joe's sack.
Congrats, Neal. You found another money sink for us to use like 2 or 3 times and then completely forget about.
5 very expensive bags that no one can mistake for anything but yours. Or maybe that's too. Maybe you don't want them to be like wildly embroidered. Maybe you just want like a little something down on the bottom, so they don't just like transfer the money out really quickly. You know, like the inside of the bag has some embroidery around it, but the outside doesn't.
That's what I was thinking.
I think you'd just have like. I think at this point, with all the thieves in the world, it would just become a common occurrence to have your money bags like with intricate colors and combinations. Like somebody just goes down to the money bag shop,
And there's just
each
like
one-
30 different pallets or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, like each one has just like very different, combination of colors, so that you could tell your bag apart.
So anyway, Neal,
And then
you're
if
saying
the authorities are
something
like, "How do we know this is your bag? It has these colors."
It's not a bad idea. Yeah.
about bad idea. Yeah. So
Anywho.
you said something was happening.
Yeah, there's a small gathering, as maybe a festival or maybe a celebration or something. But there's a group of people that are gathering in the middle of the town square, and they're bringing out some tables, and they're setting up some posts with some overhangs. Someone's hanging some lanterns, some like paper lanterns. It's getting on towards evening anyway, because you've been traveling. You started around midday, right? Because you're having lunch, and you've been traveling for hours and hours. So it's getting on towards late afternoon. And it looks like they're setting up some sort of like village party in the town square.
I guess
All
May
right.
will go and, being human, we'll try to, mainly hoping it's human around it, we'll try to peruse with them and ask what's going on.
Who would you like to talk to? Describe to me the person that you approach.
Well, right now I'm looking for anyone who matches a description of the old lady or the smell.
All right, so Torque's going around sniffing people, or sniffing the air, looking for the right person. There are many people who look at Torque, the gnoll with the weapons that's just walking into town, and start to freak out, but then they see like May, the human, standing next to Torque, and like, are they together? They don't look violent. I guess they're okay. It's just
Not
okay.
yet.
It's fine, right? Or should we be concerned about the giant person with weapons that we've never seen before? There were ogres. And there's eyes are turning in your direction as you walk into town, but things are sort of continuing anyway, but just a little bit slower, and they're a little bit more wary.
Yeah.
So May will probably, the first person he will try to get attention is someone who looks to be more apparent part of either a militia group of the village, someone who might be equipped, not in, say, carrying a spear or something that isn't, say, a straight-up weapon, but more of a tool that can be used as a weapon, or a spear, which is simple.
Sure. There is a... maybe he's a carpenter, maybe he's a lumberjack. He's over there hewing a log nearby, and he's kind of stopped his hewing and is just holding his wood axe at his side, watching the two of you enter in.
So May will ask him, what may I inquire is happening?
That's kind of what I'm wondering too. Who's your tall friend? Scary looking feller.
They call him Talk. I sort of keep an eye on them to make sure they don't cause any trouble in Berkshire, so sort of keeping an eye on them now.
All right. He's not here to eat anyone, is he?
No, he had someone pinch his coin purse, and well, as you can see, his resemblance to certain species, though we try to avoid mentioning that just in case it causes any frustrations, allows him to have a reasonable, from what I've just recently gathered from following him, quite a keen sense of tracking.
I see. So that's why he's sniffing everything. All right. Well, we're over here setting up a festival, a little bit of a party, and we usually don't welcome outsiders to it, especially weapon-carrying, crossbow-wielding, javelin-toting, armored people.
May will say, well, my apologies. Obviously, we would like to continue looking around. I hope this will help you and your associates, and he will give him 200 copper pieces while we just look into this issue. Obviously, if you would like to, do you know who the head of the local militia is, or your sheriff, or your bailiff?
We're only a small village. Jackie is sort of in charge of security around these parts. I wouldn't give her any one of those titles. She's just sort of the self-appointed defender of the village.
Where could we find this Jackie?
Looks around, over there. And he points to this area where a brewer is like setting up a stand, and he's rolling out some barrels, and he's setting them up as if it's going to be like a little outside bar. And sitting at the outside bar, helping to nail what will be the bar to a barrel, is a woman who's got a short sword at her side, but it's kind of an old short sword with a little bit of rust on it. And she's got some, like, leather working clothes that could be considered leather armor. And, yeah. It's a woman named Jackie, probably early 40s, late 30s.
Okie dokie. So, May will slowly start making his way over there, and I guess that'll go back over to talk with them.
Sure. Let's switch over to Torque for the moment.
Yeah. Am I smelling anything?
God, there's so many smells. Give me another tracking check now that you're just like, in this area with all these people and all these new smells everywhere. There's so many of them.
It's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
You know what? Someone's got some fried food over there. There's some duck on a grill, and it's like the duck is. Oh my god.
It's really hard. Like Torque's trying to focus, but it's like Mm.
No. Oh, wait, is that frogs?
So he'll shift.
Oh my god, there's frog legs over there. Oh.
So yeah, the food's great. Looks like Nose ain't getting anywhere, so he'll start like looking for people he would guess could be like, okay, if they hunched over and then they straightened up, okay, maybe that.
Yeah, so you start...
It's definitely not the way he's used to tracking things.
Right, you start surveying the population. It's not very big. It's maybe like 60 people, and you're looking around. That's probably like half the village is already out here, and it's only like 60 strong. So it's a smallish village, really small village. And we're gonna go to our first break here. And when we come back in 6 minutes or whatever, we will have the continuation of our little story. So see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye-bye.